Yo, this Big Illinois 73, host of the Backyard Podcast, Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time on the Built for This network. Check us out. Hosted by yours truly, with my panel, my fam. We got the sister Kim Webb, the brother Dre MC1, the brother Anuliel, and the brother H-Rap B. No topic is off limit. We laugh and joke. We get serious. Try to be informative. Check us out. Once again, that's the Backyard Podcast, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. Let's go.
It's your boy D Greatest from South Central. Tune in on Sunday for Sunday Night Love Jones, 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And on Mondays for Monday Night Love Jones, 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for good music, good conversation, and good vibes. It's all about the love. Yeah, man.
Throughout the years, the way the game of basketball is played has been changing. In the late 1970s, the three-point shot was introduced, which was the beginning of the shot that would define the NBA decades later. Throughout the 80s, there was lots of exciting fast-break basketball that was often countered with extremely physical defense. Based on the way defense was played, based on the rules of the league at the time, and based on the priorities of the teams, much fewer three-point shots were taken during that era. In the 80s, teams were shooting an average of anywhere between just 2 and 6 three-point shots a game. Throughout the 90s, the number of threes increased a bit to anywhere from 7 to 16 three-pointers a game. Although the volume of three-point shots increased, offenses were still primarily focused on feeding the big men down low and the art of mid-range basketball. The pace of the game was slower at this point, but this was arguably the most entertaining period of basketball because there was so much variety to the way offense was played in this decade. You had players who tried to beat you with solid footwork amidst mid-range basketball, Michael Jordan being the ultimate example of this. You had skilled players like Hakeem Olajuwon, who even as a big man, used his size, finesse, and remarkable footwork to be one of the best scorers in the game. Then you had a center like Shaquille O'Neal, who simply tried to bully you and overpower you. On top of this, you had shooters like Reggie Miller and Allen Houston, who kept the floor spread and who were unique threats from distance. You had guys like John Stockton, who weren't even looking to shoot, but simply facilitate an offense. Charles Barkley, who wasn't a reliable perimeter shooter, but loved to play with his back to the basket and bully players often that were bigger than him. Then you had slashers like Shawn Kemp and Dominique Wilkins, who simply assaulted the rim in such a way that you'd swear the rim insulted their families. This was the rich and diverse NBA of the 90s that had so many different styles and different formulas of elite offenses. Now, this is the NBA of our modern day.
Griffin, fake the pass. LeBron for the tie. For NBA history. Irving for three. Luka with the step back three. Russell three.
Steph hiding behind Jordan.
Bellinelli. Why not?
Eric Gordon. And a lot of people say, well, that step back is a walk, but the referees say it isn't. And there's Harden with another ball.
It's no secret that the NBA is all about three-point shooting now. NBA teams are now shooting an astonishingly high 34 three-pointers per game. About 38% of the shots each game are three-point attempts. If the NBA continues on the trajectory it's on, within the next few years, half the shots in every game will be three-point attempts. It doesn't matter how big or small you are, it doesn't matter if you're a point guard, a power forward, or a center. No matter who you are on the floor, you're expected to shoot threes to be successful. It's led some to call this era the era of positionless basketball. Why is it called positionless basketball, you ask? Well, to be frank, it's because everyone looks the freaking same. You've got 6-foot guards hoisting transition threes, and you've got 7-foot, 250-pound centers hoisting transition threes. Players who typically can't shoot threes are now given standing ovations when they finally hit a three, because in this NBA, everyone is expected to shoot them. The Ben Simmons first three-pointer excitement would have never happened in the 90s because no one would have cared if he could make a three or not, because his talent in the 90s would have still been recognized even without the three ball. Now, if you can't make a three like everyone else and you don't play like everyone else, you're seen as a liability. The variety to the game is gone. The beauty of 90s basketball is all but a distant memory at this point. So why is this happening? Well, there's several reasons. For one, the NBA rules have allowed the game to evolve to this point. In 2004, the NBA outlawed hand-checking by the players, meaning that defensive players used to be allowed to put their hands or forearms on the offensive player. You could use this advantage to crowd the player or even steer the offensive player in the direction you wanted him to go. You can imagine how much this affects the spacing on the floor and how much more difficult this makes it for a player to dribble and shoot on the perimeter. Now, as the defensive player, you can't crowd him and you can't put a hand on him, so if he wants to dribble around and take all the time he wants to create space for a good look, you kind of just have to let him and live with the result. But arguably, the biggest reason more three-pointers are shot today is because of the rise of NBA analytics. Shooting more three-pointers is just smarter, which equals more points, which equals more victories. If a team only shot three-pointers for an entire game and shot 40% from that range, the opposing team would have to shoot 60% from two-point range just to equal that offensive production. The thing is, very few players shoot 60% from two-point range, but a lot of players can shoot 40+% from three-point range. The three-pointer is simply the more valuable shot, and the team that utilizes it more will more than likely be the team that ends up winning the game. This isn't just a complaint of basketball players of the past who are disconnected from the modern game, but even modern NBA players and coaches have voiced these same complaints. Kevin Durant is among the players who have echoed these thoughts, and even Greg Popovich has spoken strongly against this style of modern basketball. In an interview that took place less than a year ago, this is what Popovich had to say about the game today. The inside game is kaput. You've got to have downhill players, you've got to have people who can penetrate and kick, you've got to have people who can switch, you've got to have big guys who can play little guys. There's no basketball anymore, there's no beauty in it. It's pretty boring, but it is what it is, and you need to work with it. These days, there's such an emphasis on the three because it's proven to be analytically correct. Now you look at a stat sheet after a game, and the first thing you look at is the threes. If you made threes and the other team didn't, you win. You don't look at the rebounds or the turnovers or how much transition D was involved. You don't even care. That's how much of an impact the three-point shot has, and it's evidenced by how everybody plays. I hate it. I always have. Now I want you to grasp that this is a coach who's used this modern style of play and benefited off of this modern style of play. He's won championships by taking advantage of analytics and the three ball. When even the greatest and most successful coach of this generation of basketball has to admit that this generation of basketball is boring and that he hates it, well then you know you have a problem. The NBA needs a solution badly. But before I suggest my solution, let me tell you what is not the solution. A 4-point line. The NBA has publicly flirted with the idea of adding a 4-point line, which is an idea that's gaining lots of traction that some teams are already preparing for. Let me be straightforward here. Not only is this not the solution, this is literally the worst adjustment you could possibly make. Please, NBA, don't do this. If you think NBA highlights are boring now, when three-pointers have made it basically just a jump shot compilation, how is adding a 4-point line going to fix that? When you understand that 60% of twos is worth the same as 40% of threes and how that's changed the game, imagine how the game will be impacted when 50% of twos are worth the same as 25% of fours. The game will become the most boring jump shooting overloaded style that it's ever been. At that point, even layup and dunk attempts will be considered inefficient shots because of the overpowering value of the 4-pointer. That is an NBA I hope I never see. If you really want a solution, here is my idea, and let me know what you guys think of it in the comments section. If you guys really want the NBA to be as entertaining as it once was, extend the 3-point line. By extending the 3-point line by a few feet, the overall percentages of 3-pointers will go down league-wide. A less efficient 3-point shot means the value of the 3 decreases, which naturally increases the value of the 2-point shot. You would see mid-range basketball and post-play make a comeback. You will see less tall and gangly centers and power forwards who are always thinking about shooting, and instead you'll see a resurgence of strong, physical big men who crash the boards and score in the paint. It's tough to say how far the NBA should extend the 3. It's currently 23 feet 9 inches at the top of the arc. You could move that to 26 or 27 feet. Whatever is enough to decrease percentages to the point where the 2 becomes valuable again. They could run experiments with it in the G League and see how that affects the game. A deeper 3-point line would mean players like Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, and Trae Young would have an even greater value, which I'm for. If you can consistently hit jumpers from 30 feet like they can, you should stand out because of it. This change and new challenge would spark excitement amongst NBA fans and rejuvenate a lot of old school NBA fans who miss the days of more diverse basketball. The tricky part is, what do you do about the corner threes? The 3-point line on the corners is 22 feet, but you only have 3 feet of space between the 3-point line and the out of bounds line, so extending the 3 on the corners isn't really an option. I'm open to ideas, but there's several ways you could handle this issue. 1, you could just keep the 3-point corners at 22 feet, and it would then easily be the most valuable and sought-after shot in basketball. 2, you could just eliminate quarter threes and have the arc head straight out of bounds on both wings. Or 3, you could eliminate corner threes, but have a zone for corner 3-pointers that's only in effect during certain time frames. For example, like the final 2 minutes of each quarter. I understand any of this would be a big change, but it's something the league is hurting for, and the NBA has never been afraid to make drastic changes to improve its product. Let me know in the comments section if you agree that this is the way to fix the NBA's jump shooting problem. Make sure to like and subscribe for more NBA content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Yo, this is Afro, aka All Flows Reach Out. and you're listening to Built for This Network. Yes, sir. Home the building, stay safe. Bomb.
Good evening, family.
Yo, 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 yo. This is your man, H-Rap B. We are on Built for This Network, brought to you by Spreaker.com, and the name of this show is The End of the Bench. Thank you for tuning in. As you all know, please hit the share, like button. Oh, those are stuck buttons. You can share on your social media platforms, whether it be Facebook or Twitter. Please hit like, tell a friend to tune in. Thank you. If you are in the chat room, it is much appreciated. Thank you for listening in the back. In the event that you want to come into the chat room, just connect the link that you have to your social media. You come in, you can be a part of the show. This is the End of the Bench podcast. As I previously stated, I always salute my family and my ancestors. That is everybody connected to the Whitmore, Pollard, Turner, Battle, Cotton, Harper, Bailey, Crisp, Lansdowne, Liggins, Duncan, and you know me, my pops, my brothers, my sisters. We are the Williams clan. We in the building. And if you are unable to complete the show or just coming in late, you can go back to Spreaker.com, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, or wherever you get your podcast. Look up Built for This Network, and you can jam with the entire network. We in the building. We getting it in. Thank you for tuning in. I've said enough. I'm out of breath. It's time for me to take a deep breath, so I'm going to let you know I'm on the show with Joe. What's good, Joe?
What's good, everybody? Chilling. Last week of the year, got another good week of sports. First full week of basketball. Man, hey, I'm ready for it.
Basketball is back. The NBA is back. The NFL is in full effect. Major League Baseball are making trades. The NCAA are pimping. As usual, they always pimping, and they are wrong at all times. So, the intro video is something I rarely talk about. It's always just something to kill time while the chat room fills up. But that just happened to be one of my pet peeves. I am sick to freaking death of this boring, lethargic basketball. Joe, you being a young street punk that you are, what are your thoughts on the video? Talk to me, my brother.
So overall, the opening, dialect.
Salvo.
It actually had some. Say what?
Opening salvo.
The salvo. Yeah, the salvo actually, it has some good points in regards to it. In regards to overall why he felt that, the NBA went the way it did. It kind of made sense. But as far as it goes, we are in that type of frame now. It was a big man league at one point. And it was the wing. Now it's the jump shooting league now. We're trying to get away from it, but as they keep shooting threes and more keep going in, the analysts keep saying keep shooting. They don't care no more. The shots keep going up, and I hate to say it, I still watch it, but I'm not as excited as I used to be.
Yeah, and you know what? That's what I wanted to ask. How do a young guy, because like yourself, because quote unquote, as he referred to, the golden age. That was when I came of age. I was in my 20s during the golden age.
Right.
So I come from a basketball background, per se. Not because I was a basketball player. I was on the cold side, had mad spring. But that's neither here nor there. But on the serious side, I don't like this NBA at all. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't like this NBA at all. And this new brand of sports, I don't like, because I was talking to the homie today, and we were saying, and she said that sports is becoming. I made the statement, and then she basically echoed my statement. sports is becoming sports entertainment, which I just don't like. It's as Greg Popovich said, this is boring, and I'm tired of. Look. I understand, man. Computers make the world go round. Computers make things happen. You need computers in the world. They are helpful. They are tools, but they are not roadmaps. They are not the way to go, because no matter how much data you put into a computer, you cannot calculate intestinal fortitude. And that's the part that trips me out, man. That's the part that trips me out.
We talked about it many times. Like, me being at this age, I'm old enough, like you said, you asked about the young guys and stuff like that. I'm old enough to be considered the old guys with them, but in regards to you, I'm considered the young guy. So it's like, I do feel like I said, I always told you, I feel like my age group is always supposed to bridge the gap between the older fellas and the younger fellas, because I can relate to both sides of it. It's like, think about little stuff like this. You might not be able to relate to the technology, but me and you can get to it. I can relate fully with the technology with these young kids. So it's like, that's what I'm supposed to be able to bridge that gap. So when we are talking about sports and stuff like that, when I bring in my comments, I'm looked at like I'm crazy. Like, well, stop shooting all them threes. Well, why? That's what we doing now. But why you not taking the ball to the basket, getting fouled, and getting that extra point free throw line?
Exactly.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing. So it's like, it's so weird, but hey, I'm looked at as the old guy with some people and the young guy with some people. It's funny.
Yeah, it does diminish it does take away from the quality of the sport rather. We're talking about, look, the purpose in being tall and play basketball is because that's your advantage. I ain't taller than you. The rim is 10 feet high and the top of my head is 7 feet off the ground, which means it's easier for me to score. So why would I diminish that ability and move 23 feet away from the basket to become more well-rounded? That's just stupid. That is stupid. That makes the game one-dimensional. Just like that lie. Remember, y'all called me crazy. I can still remember the homie Microwave giving me hell about saying, hey man, this is not a passing league. This is not a passing league. And everybody, no, you got to adapt. No, you don't. Because guess what? You couldn't have been passing that football around up in Green Bay Sunday, could you? And most of the country at this point is going to have some snow on the ground no matter where you are. So throwing a football in cold weather don't really match. Most teams in the National Football League are outside. So you're going to have to run this football, and consistently you can do what has it been like 56, 57 football NFL championships or Super Bowls. It's been 51 Super Bowls. Or like 53 Super Bowls. And I guarantee you the team with the best running game won about 85, 95% of them. And look at it this way. Buffalo outside, New England outside, Miami outside, Jets outside, Giants outside, Philadelphia outside, Washington outside, Baltimore outside, Cincinnati outside, Cleveland outside, Pittsburgh outside, Chicago, Green Bay, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Carolina, Tampa, Denver, Kansas City, Los Angeles Chargers, Los Angeles Rams, 49ers. They are all outside. So it is a great chance you're going to be playing outside so that you cannot listen to what a computer has to say, because a computer is not going to tell you to catch football when your hands cold. How does that tie into basketball? Because I was talking to the homie Cook this week. He was asking me, why is it Russell Westbrook hitting shots? I say because he's tired. He's fatigued. He is doing too much and he's tired. Whereas the basic fundamental things about basketball that he used to excel at, he's no longer excelling. Because in order to get 12, 14 rebounds, you got to jump around and bump into a 15 guys, and by the end of the game, you tired, or by the end of the season, you tired, or 10 years into the league, you're tired. So if he's shooting a bunch of threes, guess what? He's going to miss a bunch of them. And it's easy to say, the league, it's a better chance for the league to shoot 40% from the three-point line. No, it is not. No, it is not. It's easy for Steph Curry to do it. It's easy for Klay Thompson to do it. Right. Yeah, two of the best shooters in the history of the league. Yeah, that's easy. But it was also easy for Dr. J and Michael Jordan to jump from the free throw line and dunk. I don't see a whole lot of people doing that either. So that's just asinine, man. But it's trying to get butts in the seat. To me, I've been saying this for years, and then you can respond and we can move on. I've been saying this for years. They have been dumbing down the sports audience for years and years and years and years, to the point where the average fan does not know the game. They listen to dumbass people like Bayless. They listen to people like dumbass Smith. And you even got people who are informed and used to have educated opinions like Max Kellerman. And he's turned himself into a caricature of what he used to be. And he's even saying stupid stuff. Shout out to guys like Tony and Mike Wilbon. Shout out to, even though he's annoying as all hell, Nick Wright. Shout out to Brandon Marshall. These guys are not the most popular guys, but guess what? They know what the hell they're talking about on all these platforms. I almost forgot Shannon Sharp, Marcus Spears, Ryan Clark, and so many others that actually talk sports and not talk stats and not talk highlights. So big ups to those guys. It was insane. You got the floor now, man. But until we get it back there, we ain't gonna be talking. This shit is gonna continue to regress and not progress. I'm listening.
You called it. I mean, you spoke on it exactly. As far as it goes, I'm only watching shows that will Shannon Sharp is involved or his podcast. In regards to, I do watch first thing in the morning, so I'm watching Nick Wright, Brandon Marshall, even the guy you kind of don't like, Kevin Wild. Like, even though he is a Patriots lover, he is, objective in regards to it. He was really forward in regards to what he talked about with Cam. When everybody was trashing Cam, he was still holding Cam down. So I understand that. So it's like, as long as you have some substance in regards to what you're talking about, and it's just not, I don't like this guy because of this or because of that. If it's about the game he's playing, then yeah, you don't like his game, you don't like his game. If he's trash, he's trash. Plain and simple. But you don't have to, mold yourself in regards to what your contemporary is saying. So I hate that Mac is doing that. That's why I big up Shannon Sharp in regards to when Skip talking that nonsense. He just throw the facts back at him.
Right.
Like,
and damn the computer.
So that's one of the reasons I do watch it now. Especially, from a couple weeks ago, we had the guy from the Dallas Cowboys saying that Skip was lying. Remember, I called Skip a lie 2-3 during the pandemic when we saw the last man.
Right.
So every time I watch Skip, we'll start talking like, what part of this is a lie?
Or all of it is a lie. Or does he really believe what he's saying? And that's what we've turned into. Everybody run those stats at you. And then we're going to talk about, and I got an interesting question for that. It's just, man, this is why I asked that question, and I'm saying today, hey, later on about the one guy, I don't want to spoiler alert, but I got a question for you, and when he come in Big Illinois, and for the listeners. Is this guy a real player? Is he a media construct, or is he what he's made out to be? I mean, because at the end of the day, once you get into the National Football League, Major League Baseball, the NHL, boxing on TV, or whatever, or NFL, or whatever point you are at in professional sports, you are a very, 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 very good ball player. You way better than I ever thought I could be. But that don't make you the best. Remember, a couple years ago, I said we no longer have good players. Every league got busters and scrubs. And then you got the dude who, okay, I'm doing my role. And then you got the dude who's very good. And then you got the dude who's all-star level. Then you got the dude that's all-star level. And then you got superstars. we only have bums and superstars. Dudes who just there because you need 13 people, or you need 63 people, or you need 25 people, or you got the stars, and that's what's missing. And those computers cannot, because, hey man, the computer would never tell you to draft Dennis Rodman, because what Dennis Rodman did does not show up on the stat sheet. What Scottie Pippen does not show up on the stat sheet. I remember LeBron James had a triple-double, and he had a 0 plus minus, and it's like, what? And he killed it. I'm like, what? So that's what I'm saying, man. They can keep their computers, but until people start thinking for themselves again, we're going to continue to deal with this. Let's move on. Enough of that. I'm good with that. Exit stage right. With that being said, man, 1 week into the National Basketball Association, we've had everybody play a couple of games. What did you see? What did you like? What do you want to talk about? Talk to me, man.
It's a couple teams out there that's actually been doing their thing. As far as it goes, I said a couple weeks ago, I'm keeping my eye on Kyrie and Kevin Durant. Want to see how that's gonna go. They came out strong, but of course now they sitting down, so ain't no telling what that's gonna happen. And plus they lost Spencer Dinwiddie, so that might be a potential, blow against them. Not saying he's the key, but he is a piece of the cause that needs to make it run coming off the bench. Been watching the Lakers, back and forth doing their thing. Really the big thing that I've been watching, because I did predict that he might be MVP, is Luka and the Dallas Mavericks. Of course, I know we all saw, if you were paying attention at all, pretty sure you were. We saw a whole slaw point by halftime from the Dallas Mavericks on the Clippers. So
their only victory of the year.
I've been enjoying it. From the couple things I've been watching.
The NBA has been the NBA, man. Again, because of what we were just talking about, it doesn't grab me the way it used to. I can remember at one point in my life, you couldn't wait. Like when I was younger, this stage of the NBA season, this would be the end of October, early to mid November at this point, and you used to want to see it, but it's like it's a 3-point. It's literally like watching your nephew, your sons, or whoever it is play a video game. So it really doesn't grab me. What has been sticking out is the fact that the Bulls are over. The Washington Wizards are over. The Toronto Raptors are over. And the Houston Rockets are over. But one thing that did stick out in my head, though, on the serious side, is this. The goddamn Houston Rockets are 0 for 2, but this dude, James Harden, is averaging 38 points. This dude is averaging 13 rebounds on 60% shooting, and he out there looking like boom, 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 boom. Like he finna say, hey, hey, hey. And I'm like, damn, homie.
Man. He out there plump.
Yeah, that man out there looking thick as hell, but he killing. I got to give it up. My man Mandeleon said the Warriors are trash. And we're going to talk about that in un momento, por favor. We're going to talk about that in a second. That's part of our question of the week. But, yeah, that's what's sticking out to me, man. Hopefully James Harden has had a change of heart. He's definitely not going to New Jersey now. Brooklyn now, because Spencer Dinwiddie is out for the season, and it's not going to happen. But hopefully he settled down, because at the end of the day, man, the Houston Rockets may be able to make some noise, because if they get James Harden, John Wall, the boogie monster, and the dudes who hooping now, because they're not getting smoked. They battling. So they might be on one. They might be on one, but it's gonna be interesting, man. We living in the bizarro superhero world, because the goddamn Cleveland Cavaliers are 3-0. The Cleveland Cavaliers is number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. So, it's a bizarro situation right now. And, so it's still early. And we going to see, man. Jeff Van Gundy has coached the team to 2-1. So, it is what it is. It's going to be interesting, man. Which leads me, ladies and gentlemen, haters and bitter friends, this is the question of the week. I need you to pay attention. Here come the question. Are you ready?
Good evening, family.
I'm ready.
Is Steph Curry, this is right in line with the homie my man Mandela Young, former member of the motherfucking Commodores. He was unexpectedly asked to leave in 1978. But that's another story. You can catch him on Tasty Talk later on tonight. We can share stories about how the Ohio players kicked me out, but that ain't got nothing to do with basketball. Is Steph Curry, here's my question. Is Steph Curry a paper MVP or is he the real deal?
Dun, dun, dun.
Right, that is. You know what? Ask the question again. Is Steph Curry a paper champion or is he the real mother freaking deal? To that you say what?
To that I say Steph Curry is a very good shooter. I'm not going to say he's a paper MVP because in regards to what him and his teammates did, he didn't say that yet. So, but in regards to that, now it's looking like he would be what Trae Young would be. What the league, he might lead the team and, lead the league in scoring, but your team's trash. Pretty much how Kevin Love was in Minnesota or Kyrie was in Cleveland. You can score all these points, but y'all not winning no games. So, is it more so can Steph Curry lead the team without good teammates, without the other best shooter in the league? That's what that's the question that's going to be answered this year. And so far, again, it's still early. It ain't looking too good for my man.
Me personally, man, like I said earlier in the segment, we used to have scrubs and busters. We used to have some pretty good players. We used to have all-star caliber players. The dudes who get snubbed every once in a while, they might make one or two all-star games. You used to have stars, all-stars, and superstars, right? I believe Steph Curry is a star. I don't think after watching this, again, this is after a few games, but I don't think Steph Curry is the type of dude that you can build your team around. That's what a league MVP is to me. If you win the National Basketball Association Most Valuable Player Award one season, what I think you should be is, when I look at those guys, I look at a guy like a Moses Malone, multiple MVP, Larry Bird, multiple MVP, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, even a guy like Charles Barkley, one-time MVP. The dude y'all like, the mailman, my bad. But you could build a team around these guys. I just don't see it. Is he a very good player? Indeed he is. But the question I have for you and everybody else who say, yeah, he a superstar, he deserved those 2 MVPs, here's the question. Exactly. Bernard King. Exactly, Chief Rocker. This is the question I have for y'all. If you had to pick Steph Curry or Joe Dumars, who would you pick? The fact that you're still thinking about it. The fact that you're thinking about it.
I was about to make a preface question just to make sure.
If you had, I'll clear it up for you. If they granted you a NBA franchise and they told you these dudes will be healthy for 82 games, The fewest amount of games these two dudes are going to play is 85 games. 75 games. Ankles, ankle tweak or something like that. That's all that's going to be. There ain't going to be no major injuries or none of that. Who would you pick? And the players available are Joe Dumars and Steph Curry. Who would you pick? Mandelion said Dumars.
Yeah, give me Dumars.
That's why. So why don't Joe? Do you think Joe Dumars is 2-time league MVP worthy?
Damn.
That's what I'm saying. If you had no problem picking Dumars, now watch this. If you had to pick Magic or Bird, who would you pick?
Magic.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I'm thinking Magic or Bird.
Oh, but then again, you never seen Bird play either because you was born. The year you were born was the last time Larry Bird won the championship, and that's not a slight. But exactly, people are saying Dumars because of his defense. But this is they picking him over a dude who won a league 2-time league MVP, and they're saying I would get this guy. See, it's mixed. Look at the chat room. It's mixed. Magic, Bird, Magic, because it's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other.
Okay.
But with Steph Curry, there's no way. And look, I picked Magic and Bird, and both of them have multiple league MVPs. But there's no way in hell you can say, let me see, Steph Curry, a 2-time league MVP, and Dumars was just a great ball player. Watch this. Who would you pick? Magic Johnson, or you know what? Yeah, Magic Johnson or Kevin Johnson. Nobody's gonna say Magic. I'm at Kevin. Nobody.
All right.
Nobody's saying Kevin Johnson. If you could guarantee Kevin Johnson was gonna be healthy, all those hamstring and knee injuries that he had, abdomen pulls, nobody's saying that. And like they said, Curry over Nash. But no, it's not about who's the best player in regards to Curry or Nash. It's about, is Steph Curry what they built him to be? Steve Nash ain't a 2-time league MVP either. But here's the difference in Curry and Nash. Since you brought up Curry and Nash, I would pick Nash. Guess why? Because Steve Nash had the best record in the league with him, Amari Stoudemire, an old boy who wanted to fight Kobe, Joe Johnson, and all them, right? They got rid of Joe Johnson. And Amari Stoudemire busted up his knee, and they did not miss a beat. They had their best record in the league again. So, and again, man, my thing is, if you league MVP, unless everybody get hurt, but I'm not talking about 2 league MVPs. You're having a different conversation than me. Is the dude what he's built to be? Steve Nash lost 2 of his best players went to free agency. His very best player went into had a knee injury, and the Phoenix Suns still kicked ass. Steph Curry, his best players get hurt, and his team is struggling they beat the Bulls at the fucking buzzer. And again, we're still early, but I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. I think he's an excellent ball player. I think the Golden State Warriors fixed basketball for a short period of time. Had they not I think they'd have been more popular had they not gotten KD. But you can't deny that he's a champion. You cannot deny he's an all-star. You can't deny any of that. But at one point, people were saying that this dude was the best player. They was like, he better than Isaiah. He better than Jason Kidd. He better than all of them. And I've never seen an Isaiah Thomas-led team. I've never seen a Jason Kidd-led team not be anything but stellar. They may not have won a championship, but last time I checked, you add Isaiah Thomas, you add Isaiah Thomas, You add these other Jason Kidd, and you get a much better team. The Dallas Mavericks were putrid up until they added Jason Kidd. At the time, the New Jersey Nets were putrid until they added Jason Kidd. The Pistons were putrid. You got a dude who made the Hall of Fame named Bob Lanier, played the bulk of his career. He played the bulk of his career in Detroit. Never even made the playoffs as a Piston. Isaiah Thomas took that team and put them in the finals 3 straight years. My question is, if you're a 2-time league MVP, I could put you on any team in the United States of America. If you stay healthy, you are going to be a playoff contender. I'm not saying be a championship contender, but at this point, Steph Curry is looking like the point guard version of Kevin Love in Minnesota. Because remember that year?
So truthfully, is he? Can we? I mean, I understand he got championships, but can we put him above Dame Lillard?
As of today, no.
So again, in regards to the question that we asked, he's not even better than Dame Lillard then.
Right. Because see, this is why I always be arguing with y'all about Jordan 6 for 6 in championships. Yeah, if you put if you're put in the right situation, you'll win. But again, I'm not talking about winning. This is what I always say. You can show me your numbers, you can show me your highlights, but what is your impact on the game? What is your impact on the game? Yeah, he got better stats. He shoot a better percentage. He does this. He does that. Yeah, but Kevin Love was shooting about 55%. Kevin Love led the league in 30 point, 20 rebound games, and the Minnesota Timberwolves were horrible.
They were in the lottery every year.
So it's easy to say, hey man, but look at this. Like when you read Steph Curry, I'm gonna pull him up. I'm gonna pull up his numbers. And this is why I always argue with people about, oh man, stop talking to me about stats. What's your impact on the game? What's your impact on the game? And people, you can't deny that. Like when people talk about quarterback ratings. Yeah. You are the best at that. You can be rated whatever the hell they want to rate you. But how well are you playing? As a matter of fact, I was watching that dumbass show with Skip and Shannon today. And Skip Bayless was talking about how Tom Brady is rated higher than Patrick Mahomes. But are you playing better than Patrick Mahomes? See, you can talk the stat conversation. You can stat me to death. Oh man, blah blah blah. No. I don't want to hear that shit. What are you doing when it counts? Right. What are you doing when it counts? You know, I'm gonna pull up the ESPN stats against Basketball Reference. Got all this nonsensical statistical information that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Like right now, I'm looking at Steph Curry, his career.
Double in Minnesota. I think it was like a 20 and 15 double like that.
You know, it's just a situation to where, and again, this is not a knock on Steph Curry. I'm a gigantic Steph Curry fan. But when you look at his career statistics, 34 points a game. He shoots 47% from the floor, 43% from the 3-point line, 90% from the free throw line, 4.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists, and 23 points a game. You can't say a damn thing bad about that. But I know, hey, to quote Charles Barkley, it's easy to put up numbers on a bad team. It is. It's just like, and it's easier when you're in a great situation to put up numbers. But this dude winning league MVPs at 28 points, and he got 28 and 9 and 30 and 9 and 6.5. You can't deny those numbers. But what is your impact on what's going on? Kevin Love, he was getting 30 points and 20 rebounds, and they was losing about 14. Look at the numbers in Green and Thompson before Durant. But Green and Thompson, I don't understand your point, D-Gray. My man saying Steph teams without help is just a player, and he might not make the playoffs. He's not going to make the playoffs. At this rate, he's not going to make the playoffs. At the rate they're looking, and I don't want to diminish what this young man has accomplished. I mean, the dude is a very good ball player, but I don't think he is the whole conversation. Like I said, man, when they were winning, you have fools out here talking about he was better than Isaiah. He was better than this guy. He was better than that guy. He's better than Gary Payton. He was better than Jason Kidd. And it's like, knock it off, man.
Yeah, it was all about the numbers in regards to that. But even to speak upon that, D-Gray, the numbers before Green, Thompson, Durant, when it was just him and Monte Ellis, where was they at?
I mean, they were making the playoffs.
And they were making, was they?
Yeah, because, I mean, the year before they won the championship, they lost in the playoffs to the Clippers.
But I think Klay Thompson was on the team by then. When it was just him, don't forget, they got rid of Monte Ellis to send to like Milwaukee or something like that because they was trying to figure out who they wanted to keep. And that's how they got Andrew Bogut.
But don't forget about those years as well. Those are the years he was getting injured a lot as well.
And that's more so what I'm saying. So like his numbers were okay, but it was a lot of doubt in regards to that though, because they was trying to get rid of him. So
no, I mean, but the thing is, the dude came in the league. I don't want to make it seem like I'm sitting on this show telling you Steph Curry ain't good. Steph Curry is dope. But when you start talking about all-time greatness, and again, this goes back to what I said about Peyton Manning last week. This is what I said about Brett Favre. This is what I say about Ben Roethlisberger. This is what I say about Eli Manning. This is what I say about Karl Malone. When you read their resumes, there is no denying that these guys are dope as hell. But you can name a bunch of players that you will pick before a bunch of these paper champions, as I call them. Because, five-time NFL MVP. You can't say, oh, man, Peyton Manning wasn't shit. Only a damn fool will say that. But the reality of the situation is you got a borderline Hall of Fame wide receiver. You got a Hall of Fame wide receiver. You got an NFL Pro Bowl All-Pro tight end. You had Edgerrin James. You had who should be going into the Hall of Fame this year or last year. I think he went in. Either way, and you only got one Super Bowl win. You got 2 Super Bowls appearances and 1 Super Bowl win. And then, I'm just looking at the situation. It makes me question them. It's like when you start talking about this all-time great, he the number 3 point guard. No. And I remember saying that, and people, how you gonna doubt him? He got these. And that's why I consistently argue with folks. How are you the best? Because you got trophies. Because I don't care what no one says. The MVP, All-NBA, All-NBA All-Stars, all of those awards are popularity contests. Popularity contests. And so, like, I remember, what was that? Year before last, when LeBron James missed all those years, and he still was third All-NBA third team. LeBron James won the All-NBA third team that year. I bet you if we looked at it, we could find a forward who kicked ass. And LeBron numbers was better than that, guys. But LeBron James' impact on his team was trash. They were 500. A 500 player, unless you out there with Manny Moore and Jack. I ain't trying to hit, man. I am not trying to hit. So, again, I'm not trashing Steph. But when you start talking about Steph Curry is better than Peyton, Kidd, and these type of guys, I'm going to have to go, whoa, Kemosabe. It's like, knock it off, man. Knock it off. But if you only looking at the numbers, if you're doing what Skip Bayless does and just look at the stats in the championships, then yeah, there you go. Steph Curry the man. But when you're looking at impact on the game, impact on his teammates and things of that nature, because people are saying, but what about this other? And when you add his teammates, he better. That's not the way one of the greatest players in the world should be graded. It should be the other way around. He's making the game easy. Scottie Pippen made the game easier for his teammates. I mean, Charles Barkley. I mean, we go down the list, man, and it's just, I don't see it. I don't want anybody to think, oh man, you dissing Steph Curry, because I'm not. I'm dissing the pundits that talk that nonsense. I don't give a damn. Because I mean, I don't even entertain stupid ass comments like that. Like this cat reached out to me. I was like, I said on Twitter Sunday night, I said at this point, at the rate we looking, Steph Curry is just going to be a more efficient Kyrie Irving. And then this dude, Kyrie Irving had a better shooting percentage tonight. And I blocked his ass. Like, you stupid. Don't talk to me. You too caught up in the moment. Wow. No lateral thought. So I'm not finna have that conversation with you. I'm not finna have that Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James. Shut the hell up. Block. Everybody that say that to me, I block. Or what? Sometimes I just mute them. So you can still support. You can still talk to me, but I'm never gonna see it because it's a pointless conversation. If you can't have a nuanced conversation about sports, I don't want to talk to you because you're kind of stupid. With that being said, Russell Westbrook, what's going on with Russ? The Washington Wizards are 0-2, 0-3.
In regards to what's going on with Washington,
Russ, not Washington. Russ.
Not necessarily a good. Russ is being Russ. We know what Russ is. Like, I think it's all mental with him now. He doesn't talk enough craziness, and maybe he doubts himself, and he overcompensating by just trying to do all the extra scoring, all the extra this, all the extra that. And he's overcompensating at this point. And he's not figuring it out. Like, it was a couple games ago when he figured out threes wasn't going for him, so he started taking it in. But, Mikey, you still took 20-something shots to get 20 points. So, I think his confidence is blown. So he's trying to do everything he can to get back right. And it's only hurting his team.
I follow you, but I don't think it's confidence. I think we used to call it back in the day when you meet D-grade RCAs, we used to call it reading your newspaper clippings. Chief Rocker, whoever else old enough to remember newspapers on a regular basis. He likes the fact that when you turn on ESPN or when one of his games is going on, the first thing out the announcer's mouth is, you will never get cheated by Russell Westbrook. Nobody plays hard as Russell Westbrook. He's attempting to live up to that. I was talking to the homie Cook, and Cook was he just didn't want to accept it. Maybe you would disagree, and then we can have a conversation as well. But I think Russ is trying to be the triple-double man. I think Russ has literally given up on winning NBA championships, and he's going to go down as the dude with the greatest stats in the world. He is a stat stuffer because you shoot a basketball with your legs, and when your legs are gone, you miss. Just like LeBron James is falling victim to it as well, if you ask me, because LeBron James don't need to be trying to run the floor, run every aspect of the team anymore at age 38, 39 years old, or 36, 37 years old. He needs to be a part of the situation. When Magic Johnson got older, they had him run the team from the post. They posted him up and let Magic Johnson preserve some of his energy by being in the post. LeBron James is still trying to get 50 million rebounds. He's still trying to get 50 million assists. And I personally believe that's why his free throws suffer, because he's not a shooter, so we're not going to be looking at his field goal percentage. He's not going to shoot a lot of stupid shots. but that's why his free throw percentage progressively gets worse as he gets older. And I believe Russ is suffering the same fate. Russ is trying to stuff the stat sheet. Oh man, why is your point guard at 6'3" averaging 13 rebounds a game? Who's guarding the perimeter when you missed that dumbass shot that you just took? So, I mean,
what are your big man doing if you allowing your point guard to get 14 rebounds a game?
Right.
Oh, they trying to get back to 3.
Which, again, like that's the top of the show. This is what Greg Popovich was talking about. This is ruining basketball because everybody's reading their press clippings. Everybody's saying, hey, this is my brand. This is my brand. My brand is play hard, but your brand needs to be play smart. Usually, the older you get, the better your game gets. Your weaknesses are secured. If you don't shoot well, you start shooting better. If you don't hit free throws, like Karl Malone was a horrible free throw shooter. Shaq, remember when Shaq was close to whatever number it was, Shaq started hitting free throws better because he started focusing more. Karl Malone became a better free throw shooter. And if LeBron James and Russell Westbrook slow the hell down and relax, I guarantee you their free throw percentages and their field goal percentages will go up. Because I believe that they're tired. And if you disagree, I'll give you a perfect example. Everybody can't do what LeBron does. He's a unique individual. Remember the NBA Finals? Jimmy Butler dug deep as hell and gave you everything he had. Remember? And the next game, he was done. So just imagine if Russ and LeBron...
Like way back when with Dellavedova. Like, I don't mean to, like, say nothing like that, but, like, remember the game? It was, like, game 3 or game 4? And, like, Dellavedova guarded Steph and he played his heart out. And then, like, the next day he had to go to the hospital or something like that.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Like, he was done.
So just imagine if LeBron started averaging 22, 24 and started getting 4 or 5 rebounds and 4 or 5 assists. Just how much energy would he have for the fourth quarter? And I honestly believe he'll go to the free throw line feeling better and drain both them joints. That's just me. I could be wrong. But I believe a lot of that has to do with you trying to do too much. And
I mean, that's part of it too. I mean, like I said, overcompensating for what? Okay, so yeah, you call it reading the newspaper clippings. That's the saying that y'all see. But in regards to, it's kind of the same thing. Me saying, hey, compensating for what he's known for.
Right.
Trying to keep that up.
Exactly.
Right.
That's exactly what it is.
Pretty much what it is. And you overexert yourself.
Right.
So
Because
you are doing more damage to your team than you think.
yeah.
Trying to force these rebounds and force these assists and shoot these dumb shots. All right. Well.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I would love to see what would happen if he stopped living up to the LeBron James hype and he stopped living up to the Russ hype and just be clutch. That's the one thing about Jordan. Remember Jordan? Jordan was like, hey, I just get this many points this quarter. I get this many points this quarter. Get this many points this quarter. Then the fourth quarter, it's all on me. He just put it in cruise control. He put it in cruise control, and then first 3 quarters, everybody else got it in, put in work. Just imagine if LeBron James scored 5 or 6 points a quarter. For the first 3 quarters, he got 15. And he just been on cruise control, letting AD get it, put in major work, making AD the league MVP. Just imagine what he would look like in the fourth quarter. Fully rested. Unstoppable.
He'll be scoring 15, 20 in the fourth quarter.
Exactly. That's that. See, like everybody love to say Michael Jordan was 6 for 6 and all this and all that. To me, that's the greatness that everybody overlook about Jordan. Jordan thought through the game. Jordan, okay, let Scotty them do their thing. I get 21 in the first 3 quarters. I score 7 points a quarter. But this fourth quarter, I'm getting 9, 12, 15, or whatever they need. Because, to quote Doug Collins, is get a ball to Mike, and everybody else get the hell out the way. Right. So, but it don't seem, to me, this is where, and I've been saying this for years as well, this is where college pays off. Because your coach in college will teach you this. Losing teaches you need other people.
That's true. I mean, I see what you're saying, though. Yeah. That's your mindset. That's a great player's mindset. Yeah, if I can get 7 points a quarter and I can just go off in the fourth quarter, that's fine. What if you get both grades?
I mean, but okay. How often does that happen? How often does that happen on championship teams?
Sure.
See, when you have a winner's mentality, when you're the Bulls in the 90s, the Spurs in the 2000s, the Lakers of the 80s, the Celtics of the 80s, or whatever era you played in and dominated, the Patriots, you don't go into no game thinking, oh man, we about to get our ass kicked. And then if you start getting your ass kicked, Michael Jordan takes over. But let's not forget this, a playoff game, Chicago Bulls versus the Miami Heat, Michael Jordan missed his first 17 shots. They won that game.
Right.
If you can miss your first 17 shots, that means other people on the team doing what they're supposed to do.
It's true.
So, and when they're not doing what they're supposed to do, that's why you get the big check. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying never go off. I'm not saying pace yourself. But when you have an Anthony Davis, when you have Dennis Schroeder, when you have all these other guys on your team who are either NBA very good players, NBA All-Star, or superstar level, why must you get 10 to 12 rebounds a night? Because you living up to LeBron James or you living up to Russell Wilson instead of just trying to win. Could I be wrong? I could be 1,000% incorrect. But I personally believe if LeBron James started getting 6-7 rebounds a game and get 25, 30 points a night, or just score in the fourth quarter and just seal the deal, I personally believe he'll be a better free throw shooter because when he was younger, he used to hit those same free throws he missed now. That's just me. I just personally believe that. That Clipper blowout, what the hell does that mean? Doesn't mean anything. It's the beginning of the season. Talk to me.
Okay, what that means is we get to some people in the chat say I didn't get their aha moment. I'm assuming towards me, because we both back Paul George. This is all on Paul George's back in regards to what's going on. Because Kawhi wasn't there. So it's like, it's just for you to lead your troops. And for you to lead your troops and you guys had 27 points at halftime and be down 50, yeah, dog, that's all on you. That's all on you. So, yes, I'm making something of it because, again, it was 50 points at halftime. Again, 77 to 27. The Mavericks could have turned the ball over for the second half of the game and still won by 4. I'm going to say that one more time. Halftime score was 77 to 27. The Dallas Mavericks could have turned the ball over every single time they got it in the second half and still would have won by 4. That's on you, Paul George.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I can't start him out on this one.
Oh no, I mean, I just think it's one game. I'm not. I'm not gonna let again. It was a horrible night. I'm just gonna write it as a horrible night because I saw the Lakers get beat by 40 in the finals and win the series. They call it the Boston Massacre.
Okay.
I mean, this is a Lakers team with Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy, Jamal Wilkes, and Bob McAdoo. All those dudes in the Hall of Fame. They got smoked in the NBA Finals and won the series.
I'm sorry.
So again, they went into Boston Garden, got the hell beat out of them, and so again, man, I think because we in the 24-hour news cycle, we lose sight of this. I'm not going to say, oh man, Paul George, you get a pass, and I'm not gonna say, hey, I'm overlook this, but I saw the Lakers get the hell beat out of them and come back, man.
Hey, and that game was on them too. I understand, and they always say it's to make them mislead.
They won 148 to 14. That's the difference. But see, that they won 148 to 14.
148 to 114.
Yep. That's 34. But it's still it's kind of the same thing. And then look. Just imagine if anybody lost like that in the NBA Finals today.
They would say it's over.
Yeah.
They would say it's over.
They went into halftime 79 to 49.
All right.
So I mean, again, I'm not caping for Paul.
But they scored in the second half.
I mean, when you got fucking Bob McAdoo and Magic Johnson and Kareem, I mean, shit.
I'm just saying though, like.
I mean, damn, Joe, you think them motherfuckers like you got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the all-time leading scorer in NBA history, and Bob McAdoo, several time scoring champ. You think they wasn't gonna score in the second half? God damn, Joe, shit. I mean, goddamn. Oh, by the way, you got James Worthy on the bench.
Oh, you. I'm playing.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Look.
Okay.
James Worthy was on the bench, and they lost by 35 in the finals. They will be talking about killing one of the Lakers. They will be trying to kill somebody today.
Right.
They might call you a nigga on TV if that happened in today's sport. These niggas tripping. The FCC might let them say nigga on TV if that happened in sports today. These niggas look at all this money these niggas making. You know, it might be like that, man. I mean, but again, I'm not gonna damn Paul for that. It's a bad night, and I think that goes back to the nuanced thinking I keep saying. Because you know what? Until you said that, you gonna think I'm lying. I swear to God, you gonna think I'm lying. Until you said, "Oh man, don't put it on Paul George." That thought didn't even cross my mind. I swear to God, cause like he had a horrible night. Because
it was truly one of them when it rained, it poured.
Right.
Type of night. And it just like, man, they jumped on them and couldn't do nothing. Like, they jumped on them. Like, it sucks, man. It sucks. It truly does.
So that's how I mean. But if people want to put it on Paul, I ain't tripping. Because if you gonna put that loss on Paul,
he was supposed to be the leader, so it's like, okay, when you get when you get blue out like that, you get boat race like that, I mean, the leader's supposed to be there to take the blood in the blood.
Okay, but are y'all gonna be? Did they throw a parade for him Christmas?
And what?
Did they throw a parade for him Christmas? Because he acted a fool Christmas.
Oh man, like I said, I like Paul George.
No, I'm just saying. So if you gonna kill him for that night, are you gonna praise him for Christmas?
Of course they not.
Right. So that's why I'm not caping for none of these dudes, man. I'm not caping for nobody. I'm just saying, like the old saying goes, I ain't saying, I'm just saying. So, but if you know what, I'll go along with it. Just to be fair, I'm not gonna cape for him. It's Paul George's fault because when you're the star, if whoever got the biggest paycheck on the court, that's whose fault it is, and that's just the name of that tune. If you get the biggest paycheck and we lose, it's your fault. I don't want to hear no excuse. Winners make sacrifices, losers make excuses.
There we go. We'll do that.
Now, with that being,
okay. So you talk to me now. In regards to what's going on, like I said, I will even retract my statement about a couple weeks ago when I said I was so happy about seeing Kyrie and Kevin Durant together. But Kyrie Irving has been reported to only be playing 20 games, which means he's going to be doing a lot of resting. How do you feel about that?
I think that's whack. I think that's super whack, man, because how you not playing, man? I mean, hey, and guess what? They didn't say those names, Kyrie Irving and anybody else who rested like that. But if you listen to the In the Smoke podcast hosted by Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, they had Amari Stoudemire on there. And they were talking about how it was an honor to play 82 games. I'm still trying to understand how the league, you make more money. These guys are allegedly eating better, but they break down more. They work out more. I mean, Dr. J get hurt, and he out there the next day. They paying back-to-backs. They playing 3 and 4 nights. They ride 10-speed bikes to games. You know, it's like they were flying a commercial. You could look up and see, huh?
On my way from Houston to Chicago, James Harden might be on the plane seat next to me, huh?
Exactly. Well, no, they might be in first class, but while you waiting on the board,
first class now, but I know what I mean.
You can look over and see James Harden, yes. And that's something that baffles me. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, some people just get hurt a lot. It is not a knock against Kyrie. He ain't out there looking like James Harden. You know, James Harden out there looking like, hey. But he ain't doing that. Some people just get hurt a lot. That's just the luck of the draw. But I don't understand that you need a couple days off shit. Because, bro, you make $40 million to play a game. Oh, man, you got to factor in the travel. You got to factor in this. You got to factor in that. No, I don't. Because that ain't my concern. That's really not my concern. Because, bruh, ask the doctor, would he have played back to back for a 40 burger?
Yes.
I mean, man,
I ain't even got to ask.
I ain't got to say the doctor. Watch this. He seems to be the hot name tonight. Watch this. This is what I'm saying. I just pulled up the guy we referenced earlier today, NBA Hall of Famer, NBA Hall of Fame, player, NBA Hall of Fame, front office guy, Joe Dumars, right? Joe Dumars.
I mean, hey, he has a wonderful personality. Joe's like great, man.
I heard all on this game. But anyway,
that's not right.
Watch this.
That's not funny.
Yeah, that's funny. I saw a dude leave your house. But no, on the serious side.
Hey, I think Steph Curry hurt me. He ain't got the braids no more. He took them out.
Good. Joe Dumars, for his entire career, put in his pocket about $11 million. He grossed $23 million.
The money changed though too, so we can't.
No. What I'm saying is this. Joe Dumars he grossed $23 million for his career, and he primarily played just about every game of the year if he was healthy. And these dudes talking about they were flying. The Pistons was the first team to get a private jet. They got a PJ around 88. But Joe Dumars, 82, 79, 82, 69, 75, 80, 82, 77. That's Joe Dumars. And y'all make in a year what he made for his career. And y'all talking about the amenities are not the way they should be. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about what you got paid, because I'm not really discussing their pay. I'm saying y'all can't play back-to-back games and y'all getting chopped up like that. No. So I think that's some sucker shit. And something is missing if you can only play 22 games purposely. Because the question I have to the Brooklyn Nets is this. Kyrie only plays 20 games. What happens if he get hurt the first game of the playoffs? It's a waste of time to me, man. If you gonna hoop, you gonna hoop and get hurt, or you gonna not hoop and get hurt.
Right.
Because the injuries that Kyrie have had, they've come in the midst of the game. Like when he cracked his kneecap against Golden State in the finals.
The Warriors. Yeah.
When he jacked up his shoulder last year. These are injuries that it's not light. You can only play one game and crack your kneecap. The very next game he played, he cracked his kneecap. Then it's over. So that's a waste of time to me. I don't have anything in this world outside of my life worth I don't have any objects in my life that are worth $2 billion or $5 billion. So I guess I need the Cayette. But hey, you gonna play if you get hurt, then man, we gonna have to figure it out. And if you don't get hurt, we got it figured out. So because what happened to chemistry? Rhythm.
That's exactly what it is. That's what the resting parts I was gonna play. Because like you're not even getting the necessary reps that you need in regards to just learning each other. Like it's already gonna be a wild season, and you're gonna be in and out of the lineup. So you're gonna play your whole team chemistry off. But hey, again, I'm just a fan. Why am I?
Yeah, that's why for years I've been saying, what in the entire head? One more thing before we leave this basketball. Shout out to Master P and Baron Davis for negotiating with Adidas for they're attempting to buy the Reebok brand. Reebok, and what people don't realize is when you try to buy Reebok, you automatically have a marquee person in those shoes. His name is Allen Iverson. Thoughts, questions, concerns, and how you feel about that?
That is huge. That is huge, man. Like, of course, Master P has always been, an innovator in regards to taking things to the next step. So, in regards to him doing that, that's big. He's always trying to do something. That's what's up. And like you said, you have Allen Iverson, you have, Phil Stevo, you got Tim Duncan doing it. Man, this is huge. This is huge in regards to this whole thing coming about. Again, the rich get richer. They're gonna have a chance to make way more money in regards to it, and it'll be something it's black owned. So there we go.
Well, I wouldn't say the rich get richer. I would say a brother gets wealthy. Because both of them are rich. But if you can negotiate this $2.5 billion get down, I honestly believe, man, I can't tell anybody what to do with their money. I'm not going to try to, but it would be dope if everybody in the community purchased a pair of Reeboks after that sale. If you wear sneakers, I think you should go to the store and buy a pair of Reeboks. That day. The day that get down is final, I say we wait a week. Wait till they make that announcement. As soon as they make that announcement, I think everybody in the community should go buy a pair of Reeboks that day.
That's true.
Even if it's the $50 ones, the $30 ones, or whatever it is, to let them know.
Some Reebok accessories, like something Reebok.
No, buy a pair of the sneakers, man. The reason I say buy a pair of sneakers is because you fool around and let them break even that day. Because at that point, there is no. Remember, me and you were talking Sunday about we got to stop selling out. We got to sit on something for a long period of time and make it flourish as a community. I honestly believe if this sale goes through, there is no honestly believe. I am going to wait a couple days, wait till the sale is final, wait till they make the announcement, and then I'm going to cop me a pair of Reeboks. I got a pair of Reeboks I'm looking at right now. I got some classics, but I think we should do that just to show, hey, we got y'all. And then, because, hey, dog, that's a game changer. Because, everybody like to say, Jordan made sneakers popular. First of all, Jordan didn't do that. Hip-hop did that. No disrespect to Michael Jordan. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. One of the greatest if not the greatest pitch man of all time. No shade, no nothing against Mike. But hip-hop did that. Because we made the fat shoestring joints. Run DMC did the Adidas joints. We made the apparel dope. And see, people don't remember. Again, if you're old enough, you'll remember. At one point, Bo Jackson had Michael Jordan in his commercial. Michael Jordan appears in a Bo Knows commercial. So that's the culture. That's the culture, our community. So if the community goes hard with the S dots and the AIs and the Tim Duncan and the Shaqs and all that, whoo, it's insane at that point. Now you got a contender in the fight. You got a dog in the fight at that point. So big ups to Master P, big ups to Baron Davis. I hope they come through. So I got $100. I got $150 just for them. Whenever it goes down, I got some money with their name on it. And I'm not joking, Jack. Big ups to them. Because that's hella dope. Did 150 Cent shoes on Reebok as well?
Yep, him and Jay-Z.
Yeah. Bring all that shit back. I think that, hey man, I would love to see that. Big ups to those brothers, man. See, instead of complaining, they doing, man. And then it's our job to support it. I mean, a lot of people be like, oh man, you gotta be dope. Yeah, you go out and get Nike. You out here buying the same Nikes I was wearing 35 years ago. And you tell me they gotta be dope. I wore them same Jordans they keep bringing out 35 years ago. So, I ain't trying.
I'm guilty. I bought the same pair of Jordan 2 or 3 times.
Right. So, bring them black Reebok joints that Dennis Johnson used to wear back. Bring them AI joints back. Bring them Shaqs back. Bring them Duncans back. Now, Duncan wear Adidas. Duncan wear Adidas. I don't know why I keep saying Tim Duncan. But anyway, bring them joints back, and I'm in. I've been a faithful Adidas guy for decades. I promise you, I will. If Master P and Baron Davis buy this shoe company, your boy would never purchase another pair of Adidas anymore. No, you know what? I still rock Adidas because at least Adidas sold them the company and let them get their money. But I'm rocking mad Reeboks from this point on. I'm rocking mad Reeboks from this point on. With that being said, The NFL is in full effect. We had a tumultuous week. The homie RC brought up what Anthony Booger McFarland brought up. According to RC, I didn't see the comment. I read a little bit of it. He did kind of go Jason Whitlock on the homie Dwayne Haskins. What are your thoughts on the dismissal of one Dwayne Haskins from the Washington racial slurs?
Man, it was shocking. I mean, maybe not as shocking as it should be in my head, but I was sort of surprised by it. I mean, I know there was some ruffled feathers in it. Well, I don't know personally, but from what I've read and from what it showed on TV, there's been some ruffled feathers in regards to him not being capable in order to play the game. So it's like, for them getting rid of him, I mean, man, it sucks. You know, gave him a year and a half, you know, a couple starts under his belt. We're going to see what happens. I mean, hopefully someone's going to pick him up. Hopefully he tries to stay in shape through he wants to do this. But, hey, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Well, from what I'm reading RC comments, and Booker McFarland was talking about how a lot of brothers come in and talking this brand thing. And the thing about this, man, this is a touchy situation. He said he mentioned Jamarcus Russell and then mentioned people like Ryan Leaf and Johnny Manziel. Okay. At the risk of sounding like I'm a Booker McFarland apologist, and if I sound like that, I'm gonna have to eat it, man. I understand where Booker's coming from, man, because okay, I'm not gonna jump out the window, and I need to hear the statement before I make a definitive remark on this. But Shannon Sharp was real nice about it this morning, and he was talking about how Juju is worried about building his brand, and he's doing all this dancing, and at some point you're gonna have to put up or shut up. And the one, again, this goes back to Michael Jordan. This goes back to LeBron James. This goes to Kobe Bryant. This goes to Warren Moon. This goes to any other black or big-time athlete that had a quote-unquote brand. Those dudes, I'm sick of seeing dudes with a brand before they do something. Now, LeBron James is the exception to the rule. LeBron James was the most talented kid we've ever seen in our life coming to the National Basketball Association, and he took the world by storm. Now, the caveat to it is LeBron James walked in the door and gave Sacramento 25, 5, and 6, something like that. So, hey, damn, he real. But when you Juju Smith-Schuster and you ain't had a bust-out game since AB left, maybe you don't need to be doing TikTok videos, man. And to address this Dwayne Haskins thing, I don't know exactly what Booker said, but what I will do is this. I'll comment on this. What I don't like is how mainstream media write Jamarcus Russell off as a bum. Did Jamarcus Russell live up to his potential? Hell no. But if you're going to tell a story, you have to tell the entire story. You have to tell the story from once upon a time to the end. Once upon a time, a semi-lazy dude got drafted. A semi-lazy, extremely talented guy got drafted by the Oakland Raiders, the dysfunctional Oakland Raiders from LSU. He was already not the hardest working dude. He was probably the most talented in regards to arm talent and things of that nature. He was dropped into a vat of bullshit, and he was unable to develop, and then he was not given a second chance. So when you start talking about Jamarcus Russell being a bum, no, Al Davis drafted a young man into a chaotic situation, and he never flourished in it. And then he turned to drugs, and then he was never given a second chance. The end. But when you are Ryan Leaf, who got caught breaking in people's cribs, who got addicted to pills, who's been to the penitentiary several times, and he's still getting opportunities, And then you got people like Johnny Football who got a chance and a couple of chances in the NFL, and then got a chance in the CFL, and you never heard from them again, and then you always hearing from them. These guys are not brought up like that. In regards to Dwayne Haskins, I respect Shannon. I don't respect Chris Mortensen. I don't respect these other dudes. I respect Dan Graziano, because Dan Graziano will chop it up with you on Twitter. So you can ask him direct questions and he'll respond unless you disrespect him. So I'm going to say, I understand why Dwayne Haskins got cut, because he was late, and at the end of the day, this man did put motherfuckers' lives in jeopardy. If you believe this COVID thing is popping motherfuckers, then that was cut worthy, because as Shannon Sharp always says, you will be tolerated as long as your talent supports tolerance. Dwayne is playing like cat shit. So you need to be the quietest dude in the room. You don't need to be far louder than a whisper, or else your ass can be gone. And one thing I don't like about this is this. Why is it that we only hear about the mishaps and the hiccups of players when they on their way out the door? Because this lets me know that these reporters and these networks are full of shit. Because the story is the story. Don't tell me after don't tell me about how somebody did something when you cut them. I need to know on ESPN, Dwayne Haskins was late again today. Dwayne Haskins was late again today. They gonna fuck around and cut him. Don't wait till they cut him then. Well, he was a fuck up anyway. I don't want to hear that no more. I'm not honoring none of that. My man D Gray say, "Hey, Fratch, if you come to LA with them Jane Fonda Reebok shoes, we gonna have to talk." Good evening, family. That was my man D Gray. Hey man, I'm not coming with no motherfucking workout joints. I'm wearing some AIs. And since you said it,
good evening, family.
That was for you, D Gray. I'm not questioning Haskins didn't cut. I thought Booker went too far. And again, I am speaking truly out of ignorance in regards to what Booker McFarland said. But because Booker has rarely, if ever, said some sucker shit, RC, I'm going to give him this time, I'm not going to excuse what he said, but I'm going to give him the sweat equity pass. Because usually he's standing up for the bros. And again, if you know you playing like shit, don't do dumb shit, man. If you know you leading the league in linebacker completions or DB completions, knock it off. Like, for example, the homie Cam. You ain't heard a peep out of Cam because he out there stinking. I'm finna show up and just, hey, I'm gonna do what I can do. Cause he's stinking, man. So if you ain't playing well, you don't need to be dancing out on the goddamn the center of the field. You don't need to be worried about your brand, because at this point your brand is charming. You see what I'm saying? Your brand is charming. So again, I can only speak on. I'm gonna go on Booger's rep, and I'm gonna go on RC's rep. Booger went too far, but because Booger does not jump out the window like a lot of these Jason Whitlock types, a lot of these Smith types. I ain't trying to. I'm gonna give him a pass. If he did go, he was at LSU. I thought he was at Auburn for half a second. If he went to Auburn, I'd have been like, "There's something in the water down there," because Charles Barkley, goofy ass. But this is one thing, and I want your opinion on this, Joe. Why don't a lot of these young brothers do this? Now, because you can't plead ignorance in regards to this. Because It's a 19-year-old dude right now. It's a 20-year-old dude who a brother who is paying attention to this thing with Dwayne Haskins, right?
Okay.
Why not do exactly what Shannon Sharp said? Chase Young ain't worth that. This is a direct quote from Shannon Sharp. Chase Young, no, what's his name? Chase Daniels. Chase Daniels can't play dead in the Cowboy movie, but he has made about $30 to $50 million as a backup in the National Football League because all he do is keep his head down and play. You know, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Why do these young brothers, knowing it's a target on your back, knowing you're not gonna get a fair shake as a black QB or a black anything in sports, why don't they just relax? I'm gonna need you to relax. Or am I asking too much? RC, I love to hear your opinion. D Great, I love to hear your opinion. Is it too much to ask somebody to get on the team, work your ass off, don't make a lot of noise, go to practice and do what you're supposed to do?
You know, the crazy part about that is that sounds a lot like shut up and dribble.
No. I'm talking about the shit that Juju's doing.
No, I understand exactly what you're saying. But it sounds parallel to shut up and dribble or shut up and play. It's like, why do you have to be seen besides during the time that we're trying to watch you during the game?
Hey, touche. But okay. But here's the thing, though, Joe.
Because I'm with you. I'm with you.
That's dope. That was a great point.
Some of the biggest stars, they do their interviews and they keep it moving. Remember, they always said Michael Jordan didn't care. He had to make sure he was perfect. Went, took his shower, came back, wouldn't make sure he came talk to nobody till that hoop earring was in. That's the last thing he would put in. But he made sure they waited for him because they was gonna wait. He spoke to him. Did what he supposed to do, kept it moving.
Okay, you know what? Nice way to check me. Shout out to Joe from Houston on the check. Shut your pussy ass up, H-Rap. You are...
Wrong. You're wrong.
Shout out to Joe for the checking. But, okay. Let me...
In regards to this, in what I just said, Michael Jordan did that as he became the man. Also, like you said, Juju ain't had a breakout game since AD left. So you haven't been doing it. So you have no room to even be out there hoop line doing all that because your performance is not showing you can be out here talking crazy. But I'm with you. It's a double-edged sword in regards to this, though, Jim.
And see, okay, let me correct it then. Let me hopefully I could put a different spin on. Haskins needs to grow up and get serious, but Booger came off as just the black player who thinks about the brand. Oh, okay, and more than their craft. Okay, that's what I have a problem with. Okay, a few players being seen for the wrong reasons and things. Exactly. Me and D-Great on the same page, and we are all four of us on the same page. All four of us on the same page. But this, okay, I'm gonna reword what I'm saying. I'm gonna reword it, and then you let me know what you think. Okay. Okay. He said nothing about white players to mess up. Okay, that RC is saying if you gonna drag people, drag everybody, or don't drag nobody. Shout straight up. Okay. My thing is this. If you walk in the door like Randy Moss, act a fool. If you walk in the door like Damon Stoudemire, Rookie of the Year, act a fool. If you walk in the door and you in contention if you Alvin Kamara, my thing is this. It's funny that Alvin Kamara, Randy Moss, Donovan McNabb, all these brothers throughout the years Steve McNair, he got holes by that dumbass coach of his for a couple years. But all the dope brothers, even the activism dope brothers, you never see them acting a fool. You never see them boogieing on the goddamn flags and all that shit. It be these borderline motherfuckers acting a fool. Vic out here fighting dogs. No, he was doing that. What was he calling himself? Ron, some shit. Yeah. Maybe Vic is a poor example, but at least he was the best motherfucker in the league. Maybe you never see the very good ball players worried about their brain. Maybe these average motherfuckers need to wait till they get good. Right. Ron Mexico, that was his name. That was his big name. He was signed in the hotels as Ron Mexico. Yeah, exactly. IC Ron Mexico. Yeah. So yeah, Vic. But at least you know what, Vic didn't. The thing is, Vic didn't start getting into trouble publicly with the Ron Mexico and the fake bottom of the weed until he signed the big contract.
Right.
So Juju and the others, won't y'all relax until you get that paper, and then you can write, you can boogie on the goddamn, you can dance on everybody's goddamn logo. Right. But you out here ain't worth 1,000 cookies acting a damn fool. That's what I'm saying, Joe. But nice catch. I respect that. That's what's up. No, that was dope.
If I didn't catch it.
Yeah. I appreciate that because that is some shut up and dribble. That was on point like Trick Dice. That was on point like Trick because there was some more. Man, why don't you niggas shut up? That was that. I got to honor that. I got to respect that. But I got to check out what Booger said. You know, it's gonna be too late next week. We ain't finna do no. We ain't finna bring that shit up next week. That's this week's news. But it's just, man. I do understand. Like, man, what in the entire fuck are y'all talking about? You want to do this NFL? Or you want to do this year review? Because we got.
Let's do the year review real quick, and then you can get up out of here, man.
Yeah, let's do this year review, man. 2020 has been a hell of a year, man. It's been a motherfucker in regards to sport. It's been a motherfucker in regards to life on Earth. This is the one year that when you're talking about things, it encompasses the entire planet. This year, the things that affected our psyche affected the entire world. And I don't think it's ever, outside of a world war, there has never been anything like this. My man D-Gray said, if you play on fire, then you're letting it, if your play is on fire, then they are not going to let you go. Exactly. Is Haskins a good starter as a QB? No, not at this point. Or is he a backup? No. A lot of these college QBs, black and white, have these superstar stats and come into the league and fizzle out. Shout out to D-Grade. I totally agree. You are 1,000% correct. And what I would add to that is the Bill Parcells thing, man. Bill Parcells said he's not drafting a quarterback with fewer than 36 college starts. And every time I see somebody with 3 years of starting, they come into this league. Dude, if you got 3 years of college starting, I think you can be at the worst Ryan Fitzpatrick. Because, again, I'm going to say this and then we're going to move on to the year review. I don't respect none of these new records. I'm sorry. I love Aaron Rodgers. I love my man Patrick Mahomes. I love Danger Russ. I love a bunch of these young dudes out here killing it. A bunch of these guys. But I'm not respecting none of this gangster when you can't touch. You look at somebody that's a personal foul. If you fall on top of them, it's a foul. I'm not respecting none of that. But I definitely think if you got 36 stars in NCAA and you get proper coaching, you come into the league, you're going to kick ass. Guess, hey, the young boy in San Diego with the Chargers,
yeah, Herbert.
He is living proof because that dude was pedestrian as hell in college. He was mad pedestrian. And look what he's doing in the league. He didn't even think he was going to be doing this. He didn't think he was gonna be this good. So
and remember, all this started off with Tyrod getting poked in his chest.
Yeah. He Tyrod just got Wally pipped.
All right.
But back to the game review. Thanks, D. Great, for your participation. It's always loved and enjoyed. Appreciate it. You had to know that 2020 was gonna suck in January. One of the greatest basketball players of all time dies in January. Talk to me about what your thoughts were. How did you feel? And then we're gonna hit February. Then I'll speak on it. And you hit February.
Man, this is actually one of the days I never forget. I was actually at work that morning. I was on the phone with a cup, fixing something, in regards to what they had, and I saw it, and I'm like, what? On the phone, what? Kobe Bryant just died, what? And he was like, what did you say? He asked me to repeat it. I'm like, man, they just said Kobe Bryant just died in a helicopter accident. My man said, hey, don't ever put that on nobody else. I'm like, you know what? That's something I would never come up with. And 15 minutes later, it showed on the screen. And, man, I was hurt. I ain't the biggest Kobe fan. I respect his game. But, man, that hurt. That hurt. So, that was a crazy way to start the year. So.
Yeah, man. I'm not a Kobe Bryant fan. I'm not going to be, man, it really hurt me. I was not a Kobe Bryant fan, but one of the good things about great ball players is you love rooting against them. And Kobe made it real easy to root against him because he kicked ass every week, man. I mean, he come to your town, snatch your team hard out their chest and leave. He was, he had a arrogant persona. After the truly sad thing about Kobe Bryant is this: Kobe Bryant had a reputation of being a jerk. Well, you found out after he died that Kobe Bryant did everything he could to make the game of basketball the best it could be, which flat out sucks. Because if we'd have knew these things about Kobe, Kobe was already larger than life. How large could Kobe have been if we found out that he was the dope dude that he is? And then I find out today that Kobe was about to leave Nike and start Mamba brand sneakers. So we lost a truly great guy in Kobe Bean. And man, he is gonna be missed. And man, it just day one of 2020 sucking. February comes along, man. We get another Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
The Chiefs
win the Super Bowl.
Win their first Super Bowl.
Actually won a lot of money off that. That drought from KC is over. They won the Lombardi Trophy back. From what it looks like, they are in the midst of trying to start a dynasty. That team is actually pretty good. They do need to tighten up their defense in regards to what they're doing, but hey, Kansas City Chiefs and the airport that Mahomes is pretty good, man.
Yeah, that's you looking at I was driving home. Okay, RC said I was driving home from my in-laws and my family when I heard about Kobe on the radio. I had to pull over, right, and digest that news how it hit me. And again, to echo what RC said, I'm not even a Kobe guy. And I sat here. The funny thing, one of our number one supporters, Moni, called me. She sent me a text and said, "Is this true?" And it was Kobe just died. Kobe died in an accident. And hey man, it hit me in the stomach. And again, I'm not gonna sit on air and be like, man, Kobe was the man. And no, I was not a Kobe Bryant fan. I rooted against the chump every chance I got. No, ain't no need me lying. But it was fun rooting against him because, again, at the end of the day, when you think like I think, I'm a sports fan. I'm a sports fan, and even if the Raiders lose 35-42 on a Hail Mary, that sucks. But damn, that was a good game. I grew up. It was a gift and a curse. Growing up in Chicago with the Bears sucking the vast majority of my youth, I was able to watch other games and appreciate them. Watching the Philadelphia Eagles with my man Harold Carmichael catch that touchdown in the back corner to beat the Dallas Cowboys, and then the Eagles gonna get their ass kicked, get their draws kicked in their ass by Jim Plunkett and the Raiders in the Super Bowl. But I'm on the serious side, that was dope to see that on TV. Then, the Fun Bunch. And, so I had a chance because all the teams in Chicago between age 6 or 7 when I started watching sports and 15, they stunk. So you got a chance to appreciate, because I ain't tied to the Cleveland Browns, but I like Hanford Dixon and Frank Menefield. I picked the Raiders, but it was, but I also like Don Coryell and the Chargers. I also got a chance to appreciate Kenny Anderson. So that's the one thing about living in a town where your teams suck. You get to appreciate sport. So that's why I was able to appreciate, even though I wasn't a fan of Kobe, I was able to appreciate him because, fuck Kobe and all that. Talk to my cousins and everything. But when he come through, tapping on the floor, and stuff like that, everybody was, oh man, he's trying to be like Mike. That's something I never really got into because when I grew up, everybody wanted to be like O.J. Simpson. I saw a bunch of dudes walking and trying to talk like O.J. Simpson. So it was a natural evolution of things. A bunch of guys was walking like Mike. A bunch of guys started wearing knee braces and stuff like that. So for Kobe, a 19-year-old young man, to emulate his hero, y'all tripping. But back to February. February comes along, and as you stated, Kansas City Chiefs win their first championship since the 70s. And it could potentially be the beginning of an era, and it also was the ending of an era. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick get a divorce, and it was an interesting situation. And again, this is what I'm talking about in regards to, I'm sick of these punk ass news reporters always telling the story after. Bill Belichick don't know how to talk to his players, but I've never heard any players complain about it. I hear Ty Law and Willie McGinnis and Teddy Bruschi and all those dudes talking about how much they love him. I hear that. One dude, what's his name? Brian Cox is the type of dude who don't pull no punches. Brian Cox love him, which makes me kind of like him. Because if you ever notice, the bros seem to have some type of affinity for Bill Belichick. The bros seem to really like Belichick. And I'm not finna jump on this bandwagon about Belichick didn't make the playoffs, Brady made him, because I don't give a damn if you are of the culture, and then you can have the floor on that. If you are the culture of saying that the Patriots really wasn't that good, they cheated. If the Patriots ain't that good and they cheated, then Tom Brady ain't 75% of the reason they won. Because the cheating is why they won. And if we were cheating, we were helping you cheat as well. And if we were winning because we were cheating, you're a cheat too.
That is completely true. So in regards to all these Super Bowls that's won, I mean, if one of them was tainted, all of them tainted. So take them all back. Take them all back.
Yeah. So
take them all back.
Not even take them all back. How are you like Skip Bayless says, Tom Brady is 75% of why they won. If Bill Belichick was recording and getting signals, that means Tom knows those signals. And if Tom knows those signals, he knows where to go. And if he knows where to go, that means he's not really reading defenses. He's just cheating. Which goes back to who helped you get the cheat codes? He did. And if he helped you get the cheat codes and you using them to win football games, then, goddammit, y'all lose. It's his thing.
Right.
So if you don't like Belichick, he was cheating, right?
I like Brady.
You can't. That means he helped Brady cheat too. But don't nobody want to talk about that because Belichick don't play the media game, so he don't get the respect that others get. And for like all these media types, Phil Negro was a cheater. Catfish Hunter was a cheater. Baseball, part of baseball culture is cheating, but y'all put those dudes in the Hall of Fame, but y'all don't want to put Barry in. Y'all don't really mind putting Roger in, but y'all don't want to put Barry in because, again, he's not a media darling. But that has nothing to do with 2020, but that was the end of that era. March comes along, the United States of America gets shut down, spring training is ended, March Madness is dead. We don't know what's going on in sports. What were you thinking about? What were you thinking about in March?
In March, man, pretty much what the hell? Pretty much that's the time where everything got shut down and everybody was sent home, and everybody was told like, okay, we're gonna try and figure this out for a couple of weeks and stay on hold, we're gonna figure it out, and then everything just shut down for real. Like nobody can go nowhere, and March became one of the longest months of the year. You know, self-isolation in regards to being at home, not being able to go nowhere, not being able to do anything. Oh, man. some mental mind states were tested in regards to that. Had no basketball, no sports at all. I went crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. How about you?
No, March, it was strange because now the NBA season is the NBA was the first league to put their entire get down on pause. Baseball was put on pause as well. They didn't even know what the hell was going on with baseball, but actually baseball was all system go for a little while. NBA gets put on pause. The combine is put on pause. Everything is put on pause because the whole world is in disarray. They canceled the NCAA tournament this is the only time they've ever done it. This is when you realize to me that this sports year is not going to be a traditional sports year. It's not going to be like any other year we've ever seen. It is it was a hell of a situation. But me personally, I think that these people did the right thing. I think when you shut down the NCAA, instead of putting these young men's lives in jeopardy as they are doing currently, I think that was the dopest thing possible. I respected it, man, because at that point you realize that no matter why they did it, you realize that, hey, man, this shit is real. And it helped us move forward. And then April got here, no Masters, which I didn't give a fuck about because I don't give a damn about golf. I've never played and I never will play. I have no interest in playing, and you're not gonna get me on the golf course at gunpoint. So that it is what it is. And then May comes about, they fix baseball, and now baseball is back. They bring sports back, and this is when you realize it's all about the money. What are your thoughts at that point? They bring it back baseball, and then the conversation starts about basketball. Talk to me.
Man, at this point, that's when I started to get hope in regards to, hey, sports are going to come back. It felt forced, though, in regards, like I said, it was all about the dollar in regards to the baseball, which is funny, because I always thought baseball was one of the most made the most money out of all sports anyway. But they got in there, got some baseball going with no fans, had to cut out fans out there, and that was pretty cool, I guess, for them. But it was weird, but hey, we got a champion again. Another drought was ended in regards to the Dodgers winning the World Series. I'm with them because as the season went on, I picked them to win, so it was good for me.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, May was interesting. You had the St. Louis Cardinals have an outbreak. You're looking at a situation to whereas this thing looked like it was going to end before it even started. But then baseball got rolling, and next thing you know, basketball has set a date. They are going to play from the end of July through October. so they could save the national basketball season. But now it's June, and the most important sporting event in the world, arguably the most important sporting event in the history of the world, is canceled. That is the Summer Olympics. People only think about, when you're not a traditional Olympic watcher, you only think about the track and field and basketball. But as me and the homie Tiffany was talking earlier, we were talking track and field. You got all kinds of Olympic sports, cross country. You got archery. You got shooting. You got swimming. You got gymnastics. And as she stated, these people are not millionaires. A lot of these people have jobs and families. And you could have bust your ass, and this, you've been trying to get on the Olympic team for the last 12 to 20 years. 12, 16, 20 years. And now you're 35 years old. You finally line up all your ducks in a row, and you didn't make it. You made it, and you can't go. This had to be a super duper gut punch. I feel for those people, and it's just I feel for those people, man, because the Olympics is a very small window, unless you are some type of freak athlete like Edwin Moses or Carl Lewis or somebody of that name. What's his name? Greg Louganis and things of that. Where you can do it for 3 and 4 Olympics. If you're a sprinter, you probably can only do it for 1 or 2 Olympics and things of that nature. Or if you are a distance runner, you may be able to do it. But man, this was a true gut punch. And now the whole world is on fire because one of our favorite sports personalities, a very good friend of his, a large part of his family, a very good friend of his, is struck down at the end of May. George Floyd, the whole country's on fire. Athletes from coast to coast are standing up. What were your thoughts at the end of May going into June as the Olympics get canceled and Big George Floyd is murdered in front of the world?
Man. This was pretty much one of the first couple of days of us actually, quote unquote, getting back to some normal things, getting outside. To see that on film or that was out there being posted live, and then things again over and over again, man, my heart broke. The way that George, man, the way he screamed out for his mother, man, it tore my heart apart. And to see that cops were there doing that, no one said anything besides the people that were reporting. I do hate that no one grabbed or tried to, man, it was a heartbreaking situation. Plain and simple.
Yeah, man, it was arguably one of the saddest moments in the U.S. history. But what it did was, man, it galvanized the community. You got people like Shannon Brown. My man Brown, he in his hometown of Atlanta. Jason Tatum, he joined the protest. Kyrie Irving spoke up. A lot of the athletes stood up and they let it be known that they are and they stand in solidarity with the community, which made me feel good because like a lot of people make Michael Jordan a poster boy for not speaking. But hey, last time I checked, I never heard Ray Leonard speak about anything. I never heard Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley actually started a campaign, I'm not supposed to speak. I never heard Patrick Ewing. I never heard anybody who, from the day Muhammad Ali stopped being the spokesperson of major athletes until LeBron James, I've never heard any of them talk. So you can make Michael Jordan the poster boy for having a key around his lips and not talking. But the rest of those dudes never did anything either. I still believe those cops will get off. The same thing with Philando Castile in Minnesota. Will not handle it well. Damn, A-Trap has been trying to find some instructional. Oh, A-Trap, I've been trying to find some instrumentals that are playing in the background. Who is that? Okay, I'll give you both. Shout out to RC. Thank you for the addition to the show. Thank you always. And I forgot his name. I'm finna find his name. Nas Kingston. That's what I want you to do. See, his name is Nas Kingston on YouTube. Go to his page, Nas Kingston, spelled just like it sounds, phonetically spelled. It's two different words. Nas Kingston. He has a myriad of instrumentals. He got just to name a few. You go to videos. He got Ghostface. He got Bone. He got Fat Joe. Tons of Primo, Warren G, Ice Cube, Sean Price, Rick Ross. He got everything. And then this is a Diamond D joint that I'm playing. I'm playing a Diamond D mixtape right there. Beat tape, excuse me. So that's where you get the instrumentals that you hear in the background. That's for all podcasters and people who are interested in spicing up your podcast. That's some music in the background. Why not get rid of Toronto now on the 30th anniversary? I saw Game 1 in the Sky Dome versus the Atlanta Braves in 2018. So the tall can of beer was half price. I was on the first baseline. Shout out to Ron, man. Sky Dome was dope. Oh yeah, no problem, RC, man. That's what it's about, man. Sharing, hanging and banging, brother. Now we done moved into July. Major League Baseball is in full effect. The Major Football has been pushed back a little bit. The preseason has been cut down, but the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, the crown jewel of the baseball season, has been canceled. Where are you mentally in regards to sports and things of that nature? Talk to me.
At this point, I mean, I'm just looking at anything that's around. At this point, I'm still working, which is a blessing. But it was just trying to find some type of sanctity in regards to getting everything going.
Well, with me, I think me and sports broke up around this time, man. I've been in this love affair with the sports world since 1976. I think we got a separation in July of 2020. Still love sports, still love to watch, but I'm not emotionally engaged like I used to be. It's fun. Because I am a trash talker, I will always be a sports fan. But just like anything else, I remember Oprah Winfrey was talking about weight loss. And she said, if you stop eating something for 30 days, you'll stop eating. You'll more than likely change. Your palate will change. And then you'll change everything, right? And I think that with me in sports. Because, yeah, do I still watch sports? Hell yeah, I got to watch sports because I have a show. But I don't enjoy it like I used to. I don't have to watch it. I stopped buying comics. Seriously. I got a Killmonger comic and a 5-series Black Panther comic that I'm rocking right now. And it was because this emotional part of me disengaging with sports started when the homie Kaepernick got played. And see, before they played Kaepernick, in my personal opinion, I could subconsciously lie to myself and say, oh man, I'm just checking this out. But when we see our brother Big George Floyd get murdered, and then you think about like the homie that RC mentioned, Philando Castile, Tamir Rice, and all these brothers getting worked through the system. And myself, me and you talk, if not every day, every other day. And like I said, if I said this once, I'll say it 1,000 times. Every time I get ready to stop hating the police, they ride down on me and say, no, just keep hating us. And, I got harassed by a cop. Even last week, I got harassed by a cop for no reason at all. He didn't have probable cause, and he knew it. And because I knew the law, he let me alone. But that's the kind of thing that made me disengage. I am not married to sports anymore. To be at the risk of sounding vulgar, I hit it every once in a while, and then I'm almost hit it and quit it with sports now. Because you look at the temperature of the world, and the whole world is against you, and I just can't I can't date sports no more. I can't. I just can't. I mean, again, I like the science of sports. I like the strategy and things of that nature. And like the homie Tiffany said today, it's no longer the competition is entertainment. And that's why I don't respect the records in the NFL anymore. I don't respect the records in the NBA anymore. I still respect the records in baseball because no matter what they do, they can't change that. And then, to me, Joe, these team ownership groups and the people who run these leagues, they let you know. Because this was the opportunity for them to engage. Major League Baseball could have engaged. And they always like to say, it ain't enough black people playing sports. Last time I checked, no matter what he said, Big Papi's a brother. That's an African right there. You know what I'm saying? Manny, that's an African right there. If those dudes don't open, they just bilingual Africans. You know, so it's just when that George Floyd thing, man, it kind of really stuck it to me, man. You know, and it kind of, again, I got a sports show, so of course I still watch, and I enjoy it, but I don't love it. Like I said, man, I hit it every once in a while. You know, I hit it and quit it instead of, man, it used to be my best friend, but now it's just a chick that I deal with. You know, like, man, it's broad. That's I'm not, you know, it may be crude the way the analogy that I'm using may be crude or rude, but it's just I'm not in love anymore, and they made it like that. You got August, the National Football League has started, the NCAA has started. Everything is all system go. We're about to enter a football season in which Ohio State Buckeyes are only going to be allowed to play 5 games. We're about to enter an era where the National Football League have protocols and things of that nature. Football is back. What is on Joe's mind?
Oh man, I was excited at this point, man, to see football coming back. At this point, the NBA bubble had already started and things like that. So I was hoping that football would try and be able to take it some way that same route, but we knew too many moving parts that where it wasn't going to happen. We saw at this point, through the beginning of the season, we always knew COVID was going to be an issue, and it showed out in regards to people. We had people that opted out, didn't even want to play the season. Of course, we had that basketball as well, baseball as well. But as far as it goes, man, I was a kid in the candy store, man. I loved it. I loved having football come back, college and professional.
Yeah. Even though, like I said, I was like, man, this is when I'm lulling over the fact that I'm no longer in love with sports, but I still was digging it. You know, you still, like I said, you slide through, hit it every once in a while. But it was good to see, because when you saw the sports were back, it gave you hope in which to say, hey, this whole COVID thing may be back. You know, this might be the beginning of the end of this. We were woefully wrong, but it did show some promise. And as you stated, baseball is starting to heat up. We got a little bit of normalcy back. And so August was a good month. It's always a good month for me. Me and Shell's birthday, the 1st and the 6th. So it's always good for me. But it did present hope. The bubble is in full effect. So we loving it. And now we gonna slide into September and September, my fault, man. Damn, I just straight brain fart.
That's when the kid was born. Me.
Yeah. So the bubble is in full effect. The NFL is in full swing. As you stated, your birthday came. You came up here, then the dude slammed into my car. What was going on?
Well, about sports. Sports, like I said, was in full swing at this point. Everything was rolling at this point. It looked like nothing was going to stop the season that was going to happen. I mean, we had the COVID players that were in football that were tested. Yeah, they tested positive. They were moved everything was getting moved around again because everything was still new. But everything was handled properly. The season continued. Basketball started the playoffs. So that was perfect. Man, very much. That's when everything started to get some type of normalcy back into the world, in my eyes.
Right. I totally agree with you.
Stadiums and stuff like that just yet. It was starting to get, okay, we got sports back, certain things are starting to open, people can go back out. All right, cool, let's do this. So,
yeah, man, it was a good time. The NFL is back. The stadiums are weird because there's nobody there. I couldn't help but the first thing I was thinking, like, man, what's the Super Bowl gonna look like? So, but the NFL is in full effect. Major League Baseball is doing that thing. It's rounding into shape, and then October comes. The Los Angeles Dodgers. Like I said, I come from an era where wasn't a whole lot of sports on TV. So, Dodgers, you almost a de facto, like when in my age group, you either de facto Steelers, Cowboys, de facto Dodgers, or Yankee fan. And then if you're a lot older than me, or really about 5-6 years older, you might be a big red machine, and we are family Pittsburgh Pirates. But primarily, you pick one of those teams: Lakers, Celtics, Dodgers, Yankees, or Cowboys or Steelers. So it started to look good. October's looking good. People are out and about. Me and Shell, we kicking it. It's just whatever. Then November comes around. We've had a lot of sports deaths this year, man. A lot of big time people have passed away in 2020, man. I don't want to end it on that note, but I do want to give those people a shouts out, man, because the 2020 sports year has been interesting, if nothing else, man. You got David Stern, Don Larson, Sam Weiss, Rocky Johnson, the Kobe Bryant, Chris Dolman, and Willie Woods, Tony Fernandez, Mickey Wright, Roger Mayweather, Curly Neal, Tom Dempsey, Bobby Mitchell, Al Kaline, Tavares Jackson, Hank Steinbrenner, Don Shula, Mike Storin, Bob Watson, Phyllis George, Jerry Sloan, Tom Flattery, Pat Dye, Wes Unseld, Claudel Washington, Lou Olson, the great John Thompson, Tom Seaver, Lou Brock, Gail Sayers, Bob Gibson, Whitey Ford, Joe Morgan, Fred Dean, Travis Roy, Herb Alderley, Nancy Darsh, Tommy Heinsohn, Paul Hornung, Diego Mondoga, Rafa Johnson, Dick Allen, Ray Perkins, Kevin Green, and Phil Negro. We lost those athletes over the last 12 months. Exactly. Roger Mayweather, the original Black Mamba. Rest in peace to him. And rest in peace to everybody who passed away, man, because, again, man, this 2020 has been a hell of a year. And then, we got LeBron James winning the championship. The league started back up. And here we are at the very end of the year. Hopefully we have nothing but peace and blessings from this point on. And, man,
I know y'all don't care. I know y'all don't care, but I do. The boy, Joe from Houston, won his fantasy football championship. I know you don't care, A-Trap, but the boy is happy. I finally won.
You know me, man. Congratulations to you and your fantasy team. Only thing I could really say is... Because if you think I'm happy, you are
wrong. You're wrong.
And if you think anybody in the chat room cares,
Just so very many ways for me to say this to you. Never, not in a million years, absolutely not. No way, Jose, no chance, Lance, and yet, negatory, and of course my own personal favorite of all time, man falling off of a cliff. No!
but on the serious side, man, congratulations to you on winning your football league, man. Big ups to you, man.
To have the chance to make the playoffs, need to win and need some help. I want to give a shout out to Phillip Rivers, man. He wasn't. He did a lot better than I thought he was gonna do. He's keeping us formidable. Hey, shout out to Phillip Rivers and any other coach.
Shout out to Bill Murray.
Hey, yeah, Bill Murray. Hey, look, keep going.
My man RC says Bob Gibson's death hit me. He was one of the first sports books I read as a kid. Gibson, from ghetto to glory. Shout out to Bob Gibson. Rest in peace. I always wanted to meet Bob Gibson because before him and J.R. Richards and Vita Blue, I didn't even think brothers did pitching. You know what I'm saying? I was, Doc Ellis and stuff like that, but I was too young. But I don't remember Bob Gibson, but I remember hearing his name a lot. So, man, that was a guy in sports I always wanted to meet. My man Chief Rocker said the Giants about to win the division. Good luck with that. Long as Skip, no disrespect, D-Gray, but long as Skip Bayless is sad Sunday, I'm happy with whoever else wins. And Knicks looking better, hopefully, because basketball is better when Chicago and New York is better. So if New York is better, hopefully Chicago get better. And, it is what it is. And then, congratulations, Joe. Yeah. YouTube, Trump.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. And, man, it's been a hell of a year, man. And like I said, I don't hate sports. It's not that I ain't gonna watch sports, but I just don't love it anymore. I mean, it's fun. It's always gonna be fun, but I'm just not in love with sports anymore. And at some point, maybe I get my love back. But I keep funky with you, man. America make it hard for you to still love sports because they always want to plug in bullshit, and then they want to plug in the race thing. At some point, if y'all stop playing, people like me will start watching on not because they have to and they got a sports show. They'll start watching it because they enjoy it again. Stop dumbing down your audience, and then you'll get more out of it. I saw Bob pitch many times. Shout out to Chief Rock. I wish I could say that. They used to say, "Don't ever rush the mound. If Bob Gibson hits you, don't even look at him. Just jog to first base." Why? Because Bob Gibson will whoop your ass. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Bob Gibson, he is one dude in our era. RC, I saw Dave Stewart hit a dude. Dude was ice grilling him to first base. Dave Stewart struck out the next batter for the third out. Went over to first base and whooped dude ass. Dave Stewart. See, and people think, oh man, that's heresy. That's madness. But dude, this is what it is. The pussification of the world. Everybody's so uber sensitive. You can't the way I feel and the way I see it. And look, man, nobody really cares about your damn feelings. Really, let's get over it, man. If nobody, me personally, I just live my life like this, and I'm not asking anybody to change the way they live. If you didn't try to hurt my feelings, then so what? And really, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. You can say whatever you want to say. You're not gonna hurt my feelings, but as long as you're not intentionally disrespectful. You know what? Before I log off for the last time, you get your part words, and I'm gonna get mine, and we out.
All right, man. So far we made it through 2020. Got a new year coming. Yeah, y'all be safe. Y'all going out. Be responsible. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. See y'all next year.
Man, I got one thing to say about this upcoming year. Let's reinstitute something that's called a teaching moment. A teaching moment is something that's when you make a mistake. If I make a mistake towards you and it offends you or hurts your feelings or anything of that nature, how about this? Instead of getting offended, how about you just talk to me about, yo, that was offensive to me. I would appreciate it if you ain't doing it anymore. If we could bring that back, 2021 would be a better year already. If we could start just having teaching moments again, educating people instead of getting offended, understand who you're talking to. And if that person isn't a malicious person, if that person isn't a disrespectful person, if that person is just an individual that made a mistake ignorantly, how about using that as what is called a teaching moment? Educate that person, and you and that person can re-establish the relationship. Or not, keep it moving and leave it right there. To me, that is one of the biggest problems in the history of the world. We have forgotten how to say, or listen to somebody like Joe from Houston. If he says something I don't like, Joe has sweat equity in our relationship to the point where if he says something that sounds strange, I go, that's not Joe's character, and keep it moving. But if it's a person that you're not as familiar with, how about this? Hey man, that was offensive. I would appreciate it if you didn't do that. Those kinds of things offend me. These are the kinds of things that offend me. I know that's not your character. I just wanted to bring it to your attention. If we start right there, January. No, as a matter of fact, if we can start on the 29th of, I know January ain't a word, so I know for all you old English professors out there, go to hell. But it's December 29th, 2020. If we can start at 35 minutes after the hour, that's 1 minute from now. By the time we log off, if we could just start exercising some form of empathy, some form of having the sense and the wherewithal to respect each other as human beings and not jump to conclusions. It'd be easy to offend. Usually, a lot of us who listen to this, we swear we love Jesus and we Christians and all that. We love the Bible. Okay, let's be slow to anger and fast to educating each other and have some compassion. With that being said, man, thank y'all for supporting Built for this network for the last year and a half. Me, the number one Chief Rocker Jersey Vern, DJ Mad Knox, DJ Mookadeen, DJ Purpalicious, Cheers Roundtree, James Earl, Joe, Kim, Dre, Big Illinois, and I think I covered everybody. Oh, Buster. Sorry, Buster. Sorry, bro. And Buster, we would like to thank y'all. I thought I said Anu and Anu too. I'm sorry, Anu. We'd like to thank y'all for supporting the number one Chief Rocker every Monday. Me and Knox, Joe, and Big Illinois on Tuesdays. Big Illinois on Wednesdays. Me and D Great at the Couch Potatoes, DJ Knox, Chiz, and James Earl on Thursdays. DJ Mad Knox and Big Illinois on Friday. DJ Purpalicious and myself on Saturdays. And I'm negotiating right now about a new show for Sundays. Thank y'all for supporting us, man. I want everybody to get through this health crisis, this COVID thing. May God bless everybody in the entire world. Let this damn pandemic pass. Let's get back to some form of normalcy. And again, man, everything that comes out of somebody's mouth is not to offend or disrespect you. Sometimes people just don't know. I'll say that again. Happy New Year. Thank y'all for the support. This is Built for this network. This is Joe from Houston. This is the end of the bench This is the end of the bench podcast. Thank y'all for supporting. 2 fingers, 1 word. You know what? Salute to Reggie O'Shea as I do every week. Reggie O'Shea gave me the courage to do a podcast. He passed away a few years ago. He's known as Combat Jack to the rest of the world. His moniker when he closed out his show is Dream Those Dreams and Man Up and Woman Up and Live Those Dreams. It's life without dreams flows in black and white. Like what dreams flows to take the fellow surround sound. Happy New Year. Continued health. God bless you. And Black Aloha.
Good evening, family.
We are built for this network, for the strong, not the weak.